In the realms of finance and personal relationships, there exists a delicate balance between necessary transparency and prudent discretion. Maintaining equilibrium between these two aspects can be key to preserving harmony and well-being. Of course, financial prudence does not imply absolute secrecy. In relationships with trusted individuals, such as a financial advisor or executor, it is crucial to clearly and document your intentions. However, except in such cases, the optimal approach is often to provide information strictly as needed, avoiding unnecessary revelations. Maintaining a degree of confidentiality allows you to control your financial future, shielding yourself from unnecessary worries, conflicts, and unwanted advice. Observing how monetary issues can impact interpersonal relationships underscores the importance of such caution. Ultimately, managing one's finances is a personal right. Keeping certain information private helps maintain an atmosphere of love and respect in family relationships rather than fostering financial expectations. In conclusion, it is worth reflecting on the aspects discussed. Concealing some information is not a sign of secrecy or alienation, but a way to protect one's peace of mind, dignity, and harmonious relationships. Not everything is subject to public discussion, and sometimes the wisest decision is to know when to remain silent. Surely everyone has experienced situations where excessive frankness with loved ones led to undesirable changes in their perception. Or conversely, silence proved to be the right move, preventing possible complications. Wisdom comes with experience, and with age comes the understanding that some things are best kept to oneself. The advantage of maturity lies in gaining clarity regarding true values, peace of mind, independence, and quality of relationships. Selectivity in what you share with others allows you to maintain control over your own life while strengthening lasting bonds. It's not about alienating yourself from people, but about preserving the foundations that make those relationships meaningful and valuable. And here the question arises: are you ready to reconsider your approaches to financial openness and confidentiality in order to ensure a more peaceful and harmonious future for yourself? The answer to this question may be the key to your personal and financial well-being. Does wisdom come with age or the need to give up intimacy? Perhaps someone once instilled in you that this sphere becomes superfluous at a certain stage of life. However, science strongly refutes this assertion. Maintaining an intimate life can have beneficial effects on health exceeding the wildest expectations. Over time, caring for the heart, cognitive functions, and mobility comes to the fore. But what about the fundamental aspects of bodily existence? Ignoring them can accelerate the aging process, weaken the body, and increase susceptibility to serious diseases. Self-gratification in adulthood is not just a fleeting pleasure, but a habit that can save lives. The following are 6 scientifically proven benefits of maintaining an intimate life in adulthood, even alone. From protecting the prostate to improving mental state, each of these aspects has scientific confirmation and can have a significant impact on well-being. Stay with us to learn how this simple habit can keep the body toned, the mind sharp, and even extend life years. So let's get started. Prostate protection is an important aspect of men's health, often underestimated in everyday life. Maintaining intimacy, especially through the practice of self-gratification, has a direct and beneficial effect on prostate health in adulthood. Many men do not think about the importance of this organ, but the prostate plays a key role in the functioning of the body, and neglecting its health can lead to serious problems in the future. Scientific studies indicate that men who ejaculate regularly demonstrate a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer. This is because the ejaculation process helps remove toxins and potentially harmful substances that would otherwise accumulate, causing inflammation in the prostate gland. When the body is not cleansed of these fluids on a regular basis, the prostate may experience overload, leading to discomfort, swelling, and even the development of benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH. This condition is characterized by symptoms such as frequent urination, difficulty emptying the bladder, as well as pain or discomfort. Some men mistakenly believe these symptoms are an inevitable part of aging. However, maintaining regular activity can significantly help reduce inflammation and maintain optimal prostate function, thereby improving overall quality of life. Consider the case of George, an 81-year-old retiree who had struggled with nocturia for many years, causing him considerable distress. After consulting with his doctor, he decided on a simple but effective change in his daily life. He began engaging in regular sexual activity. After a few months, George was pleased to note a significant improvement in his condition. The discomfort decreased, nighttime trips to the bathroom became less frequent, and overall, he felt he had better control over his urination. This seemingly minor change had a tremendous impact on the elderly man's quality of life. The scientific rationale behind this phenomenon is quite simple and logical. Maintaining regular sexual activity, even through self-stimulation, ensures the normal functioning of the prostate gland. This prevents congestion and reduces the risk of developing more serious prostate diseases. Given that prostate problems become increasingly common with age, every man should seriously consider this aspect of his health. If anyone doubted the importance of sexual activity for prostate health, the answer is now clear. It does matter, and the prostate gland will be grateful for such care. The heart is not just an tireless engine that sustains life, but also a barometer of well-being, determining the quality of each day lived. Caring for the cardiovascular system is traditionally associated with diet and exercise, but there is another, often underestimated factor: regular intimate life, even without a partner. Intimacy has a beneficial effect on the heart, strengthening it, increasing its resilience, and enhancing its resistance to disease. During sexual activity, the heart rate increases, blood flow is activated, and blood vessels dilate, similar to the effect of moderate physical exertion. Scientific studies show that men who engage in sexual activity several times a week demonstrate lower blood pressure, improved circulation, and a reduced risk of heart attacks and strokes. Thus, it is not only about fleeting pleasure, but also about long-term prevention of cardiovascular diseases. Imagine what happens to the body when blood circulation leaves much to be desired. The body seems to slow down, the limbs may feel cold, vital energy is depleted, and over time, the threat of atherosclerotic plaque formation increases. This can lead to hypertension, arterial blockages, and even heart failure. However, by maintaining the activity of the circulatory system, even in the simplest ways, a person strengthens blood vessels, improves blood oxygenation, and takes care of heart health. As an example, consider the story of Henry, a 74-year-old man who was energetic in his youth, but felt a decline in strength with age. His doctor warned him about the risks associated with poor circulation, but instead of immediately prescribing medication, suggested natural methods of heart health improvement, including regular stimulation. Henry took the advice seriously, and after a few months, he noticed that his blood pressure had normalized, his energy had returned, and even his sleep had improved. He never imagined that such a simple habit would have such a beneficial effect. These are the kinds of changes that occur when a person takes care to maintain healthy blood flow. The best part is that it is easy, natural, and completely within everyone's control. Improving bladder control and alleviating prostate problems is a sensitive topic that affects many men of mature age. After the age of 60, many men face urinary disorders and prostate diseases that are not usually discussed openly. Frequent nighttime visits to the toilet, difficulty starting or suddenly stopping urination, as well as more serious prostate problems, can overshadow life and cause feelings of annoyance. However, surprisingly, regular sexual activity can be an effective solution to these problems. Many men are unaware that the pelvic floor muscles play a crucial role in maintaining prostate health and bladder control. These muscles weaken with age, leading to urinary incontinence, sudden urges, and discomfort in the prostate area. Regular sexual activity, including masturbation, naturally strengthens these muscles, helping to improve urinary function. It's a kind of built-in workout, supporting and toning an important area of the male body. Consider the story of Jim, a 74-year-old fire department veteran who faced an unpleasant problem. He would wake up 4 to 5 times a night to visit the restroom. This condition caused him to feel annoyed and constantly tired, leading him to seek ways to solve this problem. After consulting with a specialist, he learned that regular sexual activity can have a beneficial effect on prostate health, improving blood circulation and reducing inflammation. Deciding to try this method, Jim noticed significant improvements after just a few weeks. Nighttime trips to the restroom became less frequent, bladder control increased, and discomfort decreased. This experience is supported by scientific data. Studies show that men who lead regular sex lives are less prone to prostate problems. The fact is that ejaculation helps to remove toxins and stagnant fluids that can cause accumulation or discomfort in the prostate gland. Simply put, the more actively this organ is used, the healthier it remains. In addition, regular sexual release can reduce the risk of developing urinary tract infections, helping the body naturally cleanse the urethra of bacteria. It also helps to improve blood flow in the pelvic area, which has a positive effect on overall reproductive health. Some men may have doubts wondering about the normalcy of such activity at their age. However, maintaining body activity in this way is not only normal but also beneficial. It is a natural and effective way to maintain bladder control, preserve prostate function, and ensure its health and functionality. Ignoring prostate health can lead to serious discomfort, frequent urination, and even long-term complications. However, by engaging in the simple and natural activity for which the body is designed, you can protect your health and improve your quality of life in ways that may be unexpected. Improving mental state and reducing depression. With the passage of life, wisdom, rich experience, and many memories come to a person. However, mature years can also bring such undesirable companions as loneliness, anxiety, and even depressive states. Many older people experience sudden mood swings, increased anxiety, and a decrease in overall emotional well-being, often unaware of the existence of a natural and accessible way to cope with these problems. Regular sexual release is one of the most powerful tools provided by the body for relieving stress. During sexual activity, the brain actively releases endorphins, oxytocin, and dopamine, natural chemicals that promote relaxation, reduce stress, and cause feelings of joy and satisfaction. This can be compared to the feeling of a surge of energy and good mood after an intense workout. Only in this case, you do not need to overcome kilometers or lift heavy weights. As an example, we can cite the story of Frank, a 72-year-old man who lost his wife after 40 years of happy marriage. After her departure, he faced deep sadness and loneliness. Even simple activities such as watching television or leisurely walks did not bring him relief and could not lift his mood. The doctor advised him to find healthy ways to relieve stress, and one of the suggestions was to maintain intimacy with himself. At first, Frank hesitated, considering this activity something that is more suitable for young men. However, deciding to try, he soon noticed that his mood improved, anxiety decreased, and even his sleep became more sound and calm. And this is not just a psychological effect. Science confirms these observations. Regular sexual activity is associated with lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and increased levels of serotonin, the happiness hormone. Simply put, it helps to regulate emotional state, reduce nervous tension, and promotes a more positive attitude to life. But the effect is not limited to chemical reactions. Pleasure from physical intimacy helps to strengthen feelings of self-worth and emotional connection with oneself. It reminds us that the body is still functioning well, that a person is able to experience joy, and that he is still full of life energy. This is especially important for men over 60, as many of them experience a decrease in self-confidence and self-esteem due to age-related changes. The truth is that there are no age restrictions for feeling good. Whether dealing with stress, sadness, or just the pressures of daily life, this simple act can have a significant positive impact. It's a natural way to lift your spirits, fortify your resolve, and remind yourself that you're still full of life. One of the most significant issues men face as they age is prostate health. While it's not always widely discussed, the reality is that prostate enlargement and prostate cancer are two of the most common ailments in men over 60. However, regular sexual activity can help reduce the risk of these problems. The prostate's function is to produce fluid that nourishes and transports sperm. When this fluid isn't released regularly, it can accumulate, stagnate, and cause inflammation. Over time, this can lead to discomfort, difficulty urinating, and an increased risk of prostate diseases. Studies show that men who ejaculate regularly have a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who don't. Think of the prostate as a small engine. If it sits idle for too long, deposits build up inside, and it stops functioning effectively. However, with regular activity, it stays in good shape, reducing inflammation, flushing out toxins, and keeping the entire system running optimally. This is the personal experience of John, a 68-year-old retiree who stumbled upon this truth. He began to notice frequent nighttime urination, felt discomfort when sitting, and observed a weakening urine stream. Initially, he thought these were inevitable signs of aging, but a visit to a urologist revealed the cause, an enlarged prostate. The doctor advised him to make lifestyle changes, including regular release, to naturally alleviate the symptoms. Within a few months, he felt significant improvements, reduced pressure, fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom, and an overall increase in comfort. It's not just about avoiding discomfort, it's about preventing serious diseases early on. And considering how easy it is to maintain prostate health, neglecting it isn't worth the risk. One of the most common problems people face as they age is declining sleep quality. Difficulty falling asleep, frequent awakenings in the middle of the night, or feeling groggy in the morning despite spending hours in bed. All of these negatively affect physical and mental health. However, many overlook the fact that regular sexual activity, including masturbation, can significantly improve sleep quality. Sleep disturbances become more frequent with age due to hormonal changes, increased stress levels, and changes in brain activity. Many older adults complain of insomnia, unable to quiet their minds or relax enough to fall asleep. However, engaging in sexual activity triggers a cascade of calming effects that help you sleep more soundly and longer. For example, during orgasm, the body releases a powerful cocktail of hormones, including oxytocin and prolactin. These hormones are responsible for the deep sense of relaxation and satisfaction that often follows intimacy. They lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone that interferes with sleep and causes anxiety. In other words, this natural release acts as a built-in sleep aid, helping the body transition into a state of rest. Consider the case of Robert, a 78-year-old retiree who had struggled with debilitating insomnia for years. Despite his best efforts, whether it was limiting caffeine intake, practicing relaxation techniques, or adjusting his sleep schedule, he continued to toss and turn in bed night after night, feeling both tense and exhausted. After learning about the possible connection between sexual activity and sleep quality, he decided to put the theory to the test. Within a few weeks, he noticed significant improvements in his condition. His body began to relax more easily, intrusive thoughts stopped plaguing him at night, and he began to wake up feeling refreshed and rested rather than drained. There's also a physiological explanation for the beneficial effects of sexual release on sleep. The physical exertion involved in the process helps lower blood pressure, relax muscles, and promote an overall sense of calm, making it much easier to fall asleep. This effect is similar to the drowsiness some people experience after an intense workout, but in this case, it's enhanced by the body's hormonal response. Furthermore, scientific research indicates that regular sexual activity can aid in regulating circadian rhythms, the body's internal clock responsible for feelings of wakefulness and fatigue. These rhythms can become disrupted with age, leading to sleep problems. However, engaging in a natural activity that mimics the body's built-in sleep regulation system can restore balance and lead to more restful nights. Some people mistakenly believe that sleep problems are an inevitable part of aging, but there are natural ways to improve sleep quality without resorting to medication. Instead of spending another sleepless night staring at the ceiling, consider engaging one of the most effective natural relaxation mechanisms built into the body. It's simple, completely free, scientifically sound, and one of the best ways to ensure deep and restorative sleep. In conclusion, it should be emphasized that the human body, regardless of age, needs regular sexual activity. Unfortunately, many people forego intimacy due to outdated prejudices, feelings of awkwardness, or simply a lack of awareness about its health benefits. However, as research shows, sexual activity has a beneficial effect on the cardiovascular system, strengthens the immune system, supports prostate health, reduces stress levels, normalizes hormonal balance, and improves sleep quality. Just imagine how much more comfortable and fulfilling life could be if you could get rid of unnecessary stress, improve sleep, and improve blood circulation. Imagine the feeling of health, self-confidence, and control over your own well-being. And we are not talking about hypothetical advantages, but about scientifically proven facts. Taking care of the body is necessary at any age, and sexual activity is one of the easiest and most enjoyable ways to maintain health for many years. Aging should not be associated with a decline in strength, loss of vitality, discomfort, and alienation from oneself. The deeper the understanding of the needs of your body, the more opportunities there are to age with dignity, maintaining control over your health and choosing natural and pleasant methods of maintaining vitality. This is definitely a wise and forward-thinking approach. So the main conclusion from today's discussion is this: do not be afraid to prioritize caring for your own health, regardless of the opinions of others. It is not about following social stereotypes, and even less about outdated prejudices. The focus is on the individual, their well-being, and the simple steps that can radically change life for the better.